Hi ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys are all taking care of yourselves and you're all doing really well in another video, okay? So in this video I wanted to discuss the difference between being driven by a demonic spirit, okay, and the Holy Spirit, okay? And there was a joke, right, that like I kind of posted, and it said, I really liked that joke. It was really funny. It was like, are you spiritual, right? And they were like, yeah, but what kind of spirit do you have? And it's true, right? Because you can be spiritual, right? But you can possess either a demonic spirit or the Holy Spirit, right? Although we do have both, right? According to Derek Prince, which I definitely agree with, right? I think we have both. But it's like with anything in life, right? It's like, what do you choose, right? Do you choose the Holy Spirit or the demonic spirit, right? Which one is your... Whoa, kitty cat, you're getting aggressive, man. This orange ginger is like, he's such a sweetheart, but he can play a little bit rough sometimes. He just scratched me. Anyways, but yeah, so you can choose to operate in the demonic spirit, or you can choose to be, I suppose, by being unconscious and unaware, and by ignoring the fact that we're spiritual beings, right? You're going to be led or taken over by a demonic entity, right, or a spirit. Of course, possession is like, it's the worst, right? It's as far as it gets, basically, right? And I think maybe a lot of people are not possessed. I hope so. At least I hope so. Okay. I don't know the answer to this question, right? Like I said in one of the videos, but I do think that, once again, people that are unconscious, people that are, unaware, people that ignore reality and choose to live in illusions that have been created by, more often than not, by their family, right? By culture, by society in general, by the books that we read, and by the information that we're being fed, right? So these illusions, they're cast on the public, right? And the public chooses, not to see, not to hear, right? And so they become kind of like blinded, right? They become blinded by the lies, okay? And so because they're so blinded, it doesn't actually, you guys, it also has to do with like your pineal gland. Pineal gland is right here, right? Somewhere around, it's of course inside, right? Inside of your head, right? Somewhere in the middle, okay? And basically, a lot of people's pineal gland is calcified, right? Which means like it's not working, okay? And so you haven't been able to access it or open it, right? And the reason being is because more often than not, it has been calcified for a reason. For example, things like fluoride, right? Like fluoride has been added to the water. I wanted to kind of make a separate video about that, but I will discuss this like really quickly here too, okay? And so basically what happens is that, first of all, like I have a book, right? And in that book, it's a children's book, right? So once again, they start brainwashing us very early on, okay? And through children's books, right? So be careful what you teach your children too, okay? And of course, if you're an adult that's unconscious, that's unaware of certain things, you're just gonna skip this information and you're just gonna teach it to your child, right? As if it was the truth, when in reality it's not, right? So, so fluoride, right? In this book, they just kind of like mention it. They're like, yeah, so then fluoride, it's about water, right? And how it gets filtered, right? So they add fluoride and chlorine into it, right? And they're saying it's important and it's necessary, right? And it's normal. Of course, fluoride, right? It naturally occurs in nature, okay? So, but there's another fluoride, right? That that's like man-made basically, right? And so it's added to our supply, water supply, right? And the problem is, and of course they tell you drink water, right? Like, and it's always like pushed onto us, like you have to drink a lot of water, right? And it's like at some point I was like, wait a minute, what is happening here? Why are they pushing us to drink so much water? Like personally, right, for me, if I drink too much water, I start getting headaches, okay? And so um, don't just drink water blindly, you know? Yeah, water is good for us, right? Of course, we're made up of mostly water, right? That's true. But at the same time, like, listen to your body as to how much water you need to drink, right? And also drink purified water, you know, use reverse osmosis and make sure that your water doesn't have any um, you know, it doesn't have any unnecessary chemicals in it, okay? I know a lot of water, a lot of drinking water in the US has a lot of drugs in it because people use so many drugs or so many pharmaceutical for all kinds of different reasons, right? For headaches, for menstrual pain, for everything basically, right? And unfortunately, when they peel of this out, the drugs still end up in the water supply when it gets kind of filtered, okay? So that's what I've read at least, okay? And so it's no wonder that people are going crazy. It's no wonder that people in the US are always sick, right? When in reality, a natural state of a human being is not to be sick. It's not sickness, okay? Yeah, you're being conditioned to believe that you're being sick is normal, right? And it's normalized, but it's not. You know, guys, when I lived in Latvia, when all the food was completely organic, all natural, right? Uh, there wasn't even a term for for food to be organic. It was just assumed that it was natural and organic, you know. So, of course, the term organic, biological, right? Bio in Europe, right? It's just to, of course, to charge you more money. It's for them to make more money off of you, okay? And so there's that, right? So over time, this came into kind of into being, right? But it wasn't like this before, okay? And when I was a child, everything was organic, okay? Everything was assumed to be natural because that's what we are, right? We're natural beings. We need normal, good food, quality food that's organic, right? To survive and to prosper. And so nowadays they're coming up with all kinds of fake, crap. But anyways, I'm not gonna go into this now, right? Because I wanted to talk to you guys about something else, right? And so, yeah, but once again, right, fluoride, right, is a huge problem, and especially when it comes to your pineal gland, okay? And also because it's not regulated, right, you're drinking a lot of water, right, and the fluoride is, if the fluoride is in the water, right, then you don't know how much of that drug, fluoride is a drug, right, the man-made drug, it's, you don't know how much of that drug you're getting, okay? And what it can actually do is it can damage your brain in the long run, okay? It has a lot of problems and can cause a lot of health issues for you, okay, in the long run. So you have to be careful as to how much fluoride you're getting, okay? And so that's something that a lot of people don't think about, but it's something very concerning, and it's something that you should definitely keep in mind when you're drinking water, that's especially water that's fluoridated, okay? And so yeah, there's that, right? But of course, ultimately it does calcify your pineal gland, which which makes it very almost impossible to access that other dimension or the spiritual realm, okay? And to become more aware and more in tune, right? And more intuitive. And so there's that, right? So you have to be careful with fluoridated toothpaste and water, right? There's that, right? And so yeah, and so of course, once again, let's get back to the to the spirits, right? And the type of spirit that you're allowing yourself to be driven by, right? It can be the Holy Spirit, right? Which or it can be the unholy spirit, right? The demonic spirit, okay? So, of course, there's the possession and the oppression, right? The possession, and when that happens, right, all of that happens unconsciously and you're not aware of what is happening, okay? And so you end up on the road to self-destruction, okay? If you're driven by the Holy Spirit, okay, it's the opposite, okay? You're going to everything will start, coming to life. You're going to start feeling alive. You're going to be led to all kinds of interesting and cool destinations, okay? You're going to feel good about the things that you're doing, the decisions that you're making, and they're ultimately going to align with your higher self, okay? And so the Holy Spirit will always guide you in the right direction, okay? The self-love direction, okay? The direction where you really want to go, okay? And so, the Holy Spirit is your guide, right? And it's never going to lead you astray, basically, okay? Like I said, it's going to show you things that you didn't even know about, okay? It might show you some, as you guys know, right? The demonic spirits are, they want to manipulate everything, right? They want to manipulate people. They want to control everything, right? The Holy Spirit is the opposite of that. It's all about letting go of that control, right? Because if you do try to control the Holy Spirit, right, you won't be able to, okay? You have to actually let go of control in order to be guided by the Holy Spirit, which means that you have to jump into the unknown more often than not, okay? You have to jump into the unknown, and that's the only way that you'll be able to experience the Holy Spirit, okay? And so the unknown, right, is actually, it's all about having faith, right? So the Holy Spirit is all about having faith that you're taken care of, right? And that you're guided spiritually, right? You're guided spiritually, and you know that this guidance will always take you into the right direction, into the direction that you want to go, and into the direction that's ultimately better for your higher self, okay, or that's going to serve your higher self, okay? And so there's that, right? And so once again, while being led astray, right, once again, it's no, actually, what you the whole being driven by the Holy Spirit, right, is also all about consciousness, right? So you're actually aware that you're being driven by the Holy Spirit, okay? It's all about awareness, right? So, and you allow the Holy Spirit to guide you, right? Because you're aware that it is guiding you, okay? While the demonic, being driven by demonic entities, by dark attachments, right? By oppression, possession, it's all about unconsciousness. So you're not aware that it's happening, okay? You're unaware, and you haven't even, technically you haven't consented, at least consciously, right? But you're still doing the things that are harming you, that are hurtful, right? That are taking you, that ultimately want to guide you off a cliff, right? So they want you to self-destruct. They want you to start smoking. They want you to start drinking. They want you to, get sexually addicted to porn, right? To corn, or, to, and to, any self-harmful or damaging behavior that doesn't serve your higher self, right? And so there's that, right? So that's how you know. If you keep on going into the wrong places, if you keep on hanging out around bad people, if you keep on, if you have all of these different addictions, right, then you know that there's something spiritual that's guiding you, right? Whether it's a dark entity attachment or a demonic spirit that actually possessed you, right? In the worst case scenario, okay? Then you know that something is going on there and something has to change, right? And needs to be fixed. And in this case, and also, I will talk about this too, right? Also, how do you know which spirit is your dominant spirit, basically, okay? Because you can have two, and you usually do have two. It's a matter of choosing, right? Like, or not choosing, but I guess it is a choice, but in a sense, like I said, being driven by demonic entities is often unconscious. Okay, you don't know that it's happening, right? So yes, so there's that, right? And so once again, also, if you have dark entities attached to you, or you're driven by demonic entities, your self-expression is also going to be very dark. Okay, there's going to be, you're gonna be dressing in black in most cases. Okay, there's gonna be no color. Okay, in black, gray. Okay, you're going to be depressed. You're gonna feel really, really bad. You're gonna feel like literally you're you're in hell. Okay, because in a sense you are. Okay, you are at your lowest self. Okay, and you on most days you're not gonna feel good. Okay, and because you're not feeling good, you're ultimately going to attract the dark reality to you. Okay, and you're gonna attract experiences and people that match your lowest state of being. Okay, and so the demonic entities, they want to keep you there. Okay, they want to, that dark spirit, right, that's within you or that's trying to oppress you, is they want to keep you down. They want to keep you in your lowest state. Okay, and so you're going to have, in most cases, you're gonna have bad thoughts, right? And bad thoughts about yourself, bad thoughts about other people and not trusting them. You're gonna have bad thoughts about, you know, you know, your life and your inability to do things, and you're just always going to be judgmental, right? And you're gonna hear thoughts like, you can't do this, you're really bad at this, right? Things are never going to get better, you're always going to be stuck, and things like that. Okay, so if you have a dark entity attached to you, okay, then you're going to get a lot of bad thoughts that are coming to you, and in most cases, because you're unconscious of this, you're going to believe them and you're going to think that they're coming from you. Okay, guys, but in reality they're not. Okay, and so there's that, right? And that's why in psychology it's very important to kind of start regulating your thoughts, and to kind of step away, right? And to become this observer of your thoughts, right? And to not attach to them, right? And to not believe them. Okay, and so if you're having bad thoughts, then try to be your own best friend. But once again, if you have dark entities, dark attachments, then it's going to be very hard for you to be your own best friend. Okay, but because what ultimately led you to self-harmful behaviors is that lack of self-love, which of course comes from childhood wounds, right? And so on. So it goes deep, right? And so you have to get to the bottom of all of this, right? But yeah, so there's that, right? And so once again, right, I'll go back to self-expression, right? Self-expression can also be either spiritually or not spiritually, sorry, it can be Holy Spirit guided, right? Or it can be demonically guided. Okay, so if you're seeing, like, for example, a lot of skeletons, a lot of death, a lot of black, right? Self-expression can be, we can self-express in so many different ways, right? But we can have, I don't know, we can use symbology, right? We can promote certain products that are terrible for us, right? That can be self-expression too. Okay, so you're creating something like, I don't know, stickers, right, to place on your car or something like that, right? Or you wearing certain clothing, right? Or yeah, so once again, this is going to be demonically led. Okay, so once again, even your Instagram account, just take a look at your Instagram account. Is it all, is it promoting, what's it promoting? How does it look like? Is it if it's Holy Spirit led, then there's going to be a lot of beauty on your Instagram. It's going to be it's not necessarily going to focus on money or status, really. It's probably going to, I don't know, you're gonna draw art that inspires others, that uplifts others, right? That's the messages that you're going to send. Okay, and it's going to happen consciously too, because you're aware of what you're doing, right? But if you're demonically driven, right, if you're driven by dark entities, dark attachments, you're gonna promote art that's going to make others feel bad, that's going to cause sadness, that's going to bring out bad emotions in others, you know. So there's that, right? And same can be applied to so many different self-expressions, okay? So yeah, if you want to know what another person is driven by, just take a look at their art, take a look at their self-expression, be it how they dress, you know, be it you know, their Instagram account, their Facebook, be it their TikTok, be it, you know, the fruits of their labor, basically, right? So take a look at what they do for a living, you know. Some of it will be destructive, while other jobs will be uplifting and will create positive change, right? And so on. Okay, so yeah, that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about. Okay, so it's actually, in a way, in a sense, it's pretty easy to see. Okay, but becoming conscious, right, of the things that you're doing, the things that you're putting out there, the types of behavior that harms you, that ultimately harms you, right? And there's a lot of like self-harmful behavior that you can address, okay? But it all starts with self-love too, okay? Loving yourself is the key here, and you know, ultimately loving yourself, or it all starts within, okay? So real change starts within. So if you want to be guided by the Holy Spirit, it has to be also a conscious choice on your end, and you have to decide to walk in that light, okay? You have to decide to be guided by the Holy Spirit that's already within you, but perhaps you never noticed it, or it was really suppressed, right? And so once you do that, you will start stepping away from all the darkness and into the light, you know. And yeah, that's after that, after you heal, after you start making conscious decisions, you will be guided into the light and out of the darkness, okay? And that's when you're going to start seeing real changes, okay? And that's when you will start, your awareness will start expanding, and you will start noticing so many positive changes in your life and in your environment, and everywhere, basically, okay? And you will notice signs too. 1111 is a huge sign that means for a lot of people that you're in alignment with who you are, with your higher self, okay? And so that your walk, your path is, you're heading in the right direction, basically, okay? You're in alignment, your actions are in alignment with your higher self, okay? So there's that. Thank you so much, guys, for being here with me today, and thank you so much for listening. And stay tuned for more videos, okay? Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I really, really love your comments, guys. Please check out my courses, okay? My video courses on fitness, nutrition, health, and also check out my book too. My book is a healing guide that I personally wrote, and I wrote this book for all of you guys that are in need of healing, and that are in need of this guidance, you know. And so, of course, you know, I for many years, and for most of my life, I was in the darkness myself, okay? And so, you know, you have to, in order to help others, you have to go through certain things too, right? Because without it, we couldn't possibly be a guide, right? So, or I couldn't have possibly been a guide, right? So, even the dark experiences that I faced in my life, I'm extremely grateful for, you know. So, and that's because I can help so many others right now, you know. So my book actually talks about all of this, okay, and it can be an excellent guide for all of you guys that are in need of that, okay. So thank you so much, guys, for being here with me today, and stay tuned for more videos, okay. Bye.